God damn it. Crikey. My audio's not on. Here we go. Testing 3. There we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Rob Gucci Show. Welcome to a rare edition of the Rob Gucci Show, where I'm doing this in the middle of the day, which is really rare. Which it shouldn't be rare because I don't have a fucking job. So shout out to the all 8 people listening to this. I have gum in my mouth right now. I'm going to take it out and put it on a piece of paper. This is the Rob Gucci Show, everybody. A lot of news today, a lot of breaking news today. Terry Rozier making $160 million in his NBA career, but deciding to throw NBA games for $10,000. That makes sense. Listen, I'm not a math guy, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We have people in the Scottish Premier League cross-checking each other directly in the fucking head. And we have a lot of breaking news today. It's funny. The FBI, they get up in the middle of it. They're like, they have this whole press conference. They're like, listen, we got him. And everyone's like, who we get? Like, what's going on? Like, are they finally going to tell us about how Prince Harry was 69ing 8-year-olds, which no one wants to hear that news. No one wants to hear what was going on Epstein Island. Nobody wants to hear about that. Nobody wants to know what hand stuff Prince Harry was doing with people that were the age of your average trick-or-treater. No one wants to hear that. However, I feel like justice should probably be served, but again, I'm just an asshole in the kitchen with a 62 square foot kitchen behind me. And no, what does the FBI do? I got to tread lightly here because I don't like talking about government agencies that much. Like, it makes me really nervous. Like, they're really powerful people. Shout out to the one guy watching on YouTube. I appreciate that. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Mike, said no chance Gucci was live and then got off live to go live. I don't have a job. So this is really easy for me. This episode was brought to you by Prize Picks, Pickett, Emmy Squared Pizza, and Book It HQ. But other than that, the FBI gets in front of a podium and they have like some riddle to solve. They're like, Terry Rozier, guess what? You're fucking benched, not just from the game. Your career's benched. You were gambling on sports. You're fucking... And they start like dropping bars about Terry Rozier. They're like, this guy, we caught you gambling. You're done. And like the FBI and everyone in the whole world is just like, yeah, but what about the Epstein list? And nobody would even care. Y'all made that a big deal for 2 years. It's all I heard about. I don't even want to hear about it. But you guys were talking about Epstein, fucking this guy was here. Fucking Rob Dyrdek was on Epstein Island. Fucking Rob Dyrdek was skateboarding with 10-year-olds. And it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, tell us the fucking details then. And then, like, there was a shift that happened. And then they're like, yeah, you know what? That game where Terry Rozier had 8 turnovers in the first half, we need to fucking fix this shit. And they arrested him. I don't really care about Chauncey Billups getting in trouble for gambling. He's a coach. He was a former NBA player. That doesn't bother me as much because back when Chauncey Billups played in the NBA, guys made like $100K a year and nobody was financially literate. Like, they never told you to invest money until like right at the tail end of the pandemic. People were like, you know what? Fucking mutual ETFs, dude. In the 90s, if you're a pro athlete, like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they don't say shit. They were like, buy $1 million house. It has a jacuzzi. Spend all your money. All of the real estate agents, the financial advisors, the bankers, they all preyed on these athletes because they knew they're like, these guys are dumb as fucking hell. Especially guys in the NFL because they're constantly hitting their head up against each other all the time. We're going to find these NFL players. We're going to get these NFL athletes and we're going to squeeze them for every penny they have. And that's exactly what they did. A guy in the chat said, can I bet the under for HB3 viewers? I would set that line at 2.5. Nobody watches this fucking show. but I like doing it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But yeah, it's just crazy that the FBI like did that, and like, so do I feel bad for Chauncey Billups getting involved in gambling on the NBA? No, because he probably needed the money. Terry Rozier, on the other hand, made $160 million. I know that's not that much in 2025. That can't even get you like a house in Malibu, Miami, and New York, and maybe a little something, something in Monaco or something like that. Then you'd be strapped for cash. That's not that much these days. But I don't think he should be gambling. And now you like the public is gonna always blame him, kind of like Mike Vick, even though Vick just was the one paying the rent and his boys were battling the dogs and doing rap battles and shit in Atlanta. Terry Rozier is probably in a situation where his hands were tied. I don't know. But after watching the game film of how bad he played in that one game, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Terry Rozier might not be the best decision maker. I don't know the guy. He's more than welcome to come on this podcast and explain himself when he gets done with getting indicted by the FBI. We'll try to get him on. Jamie, pull that up. No one thinks that's funny besides me saying, Jamie, pull that up. But we're going to look into what did Terry Rozier do. Jamie, pull that up. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested. And you know what? Before we get into this, guys, new HB3 is out now. It's called Doing Tricks on Potato Skins. That's out now. And then I have some tour dates to announce. We have some tour dates to announce. I feel like Theo Vaughn right now. I'm going to read those off before we get started here. December 3rd in Chicago. December 4th in Milwaukee. We might have like 4 ticket sales in Milwaukee. That was a risky one. I don't know what's going on in Milwaukee. I don't know the numbers on Milwaukee. I'm just getting a little nervous about Milwaukee. But I'm also not, because I will do a live show. We will do a live show in Milwaukee for 0 people. I really don't give a fuck. December 6th in Buffalo. You're going to want to get those tickets. Buffalo is going to get rowdy. Those are going to sell out. December 10th in Pittsburgh. Those tickets are outside on sale now. January 22nd in Toronto. I actually think those as of today are sold out. January 23rd in Ottawa. Those are definitely sold out. I don't know what to do yet about Toronto and Ottawa. I've never been in this situation where people actually give a shit about me and about the shows I'm on. This isn't all about me. I'm just saying me because this is the Rob Gucci show and I'm by myself in my kitchen. So I don't know if we're going to add more shows in Ottawa or add more shows in Toronto. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but those tickets are sold out. January 25th, Montreal tickets. Those are on sale now. Day one of those tickets, they were flying off the shelf somehow. So you're going to want to grab those. All right. In other news, the FBI is arresting basketball players of all people. Of course they are. BLM is probably pissed. If anyone is pissed about that, it's Black Lives Matter. They are probably like, so let me get this straight. You have Prince Harry, Bill Gates, probably Trump, Rob Dyrdek, Tyler Sagan, and Amy Schumer, who all are on the Epstein flight logs. And you guys are shifting your attention to guys throwing the game in the NBA, throwing an NBA game in November of 2013 or 2023. If I'm BLM, I'm making a big deal about that right off the bat. What you always want to do is make things racial. Okay, so Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested as part of a sweeping federal investigation. Now, how many wings of the FBI are there? Like, is there an FBI? Is there like the rookie? Like, is the FBI like a high school with a freshman? They're focused on the NBA. The sophomore, they're focused on maybe the mafia. The juniors are focused on what's like a thing that happens, like the stock market. Actually, I don't give a fuck about that. They're focused on bigger cases like What's like a big deal? Maybe they're focused on like Gaza or Israel, and then the senior level of the FBI, they're making sure no one figures out what's actually going on. Okay. Sweeping federal investigation into illegal sports betting and gambling schemes involving NBA insiders, according to multiple reports from the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office. Like that's what they're working on. Like who fucking cares, man? A couple frat kids of Villanova lost their parlays. Like who gives a fuck? This marks a major escalation in a probe that has been implicated over 30 individuals. I just have a hard time believing like this is what they're doing in the NBA. This is what the FBI is doing. They're looking at parlays. All right, so the scheme. Rozier is accused of providing confidential information about his intention to exit a March 2023 game early to a childhood friend who then sold it to sports betting conspirators. Okay, so basically Rozier says, yo, I'm going to play in the first quarter, then I'm going to get hurt, take the unders on all my things. This led to over $200,000 in bet placed on the under for Rozier's stats, generating tens of thousands in profit. That's it. That were allegedly delivered to Rozier at his home. Who fucking cares? Who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? Tens of thousands of dollars? Dude, every world leader was getting new room massages by 9-year-olds on an island. And we're worried about a couple guys making $10,000? Who fucking gives a shit? Who gives a rat's ass? And also, how deep in the hole is Terry Rozier to be even entertaining this dude? Like, you're in the NBA. You made 160 mil. What can you even spend 100? How many Hummers do you have? Rozier played 9 minutes before leaving with a reported foot injury. The case involves 7 NBA games from February to March, with ties to organized crime families, the Lucchese family, the Bonanno family, the Bananas family, and the Lucchese and the Banana family. And then there's a whole other thing with rigged underground poker games. Again, who cares? Let these guys make their money. It doesn't matter. How does this affect? Why is the FBI even getting involved in this? I don't understand it. Did somebody in the FBI lose a parlay and they're rattled, and then they're like, you know what, fuck it, we're getting deep into this shit? Who cares? Like, who gives a shit? Maybe it's a good lesson for people that gamble all the time, like that one kid who always shows you the parlay he hit. I'm not even impressed by that. I'm impressed by the 500 other parlays you lost in a row. That's what I'm interested in, and I respect you for not quitting. Blows my mind, dude. It just blows my mind. Like what, like, you know, it's one thing if Sabrina Carpenter is popping her pussy on stage in front of her fan base and people are just like, why is Sabrina Carpenter doing this? There's little girls at the arena, blah, blah, blah. That's a distraction. Then it's like, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but then it's like, these guys in the NBA are cheating on the games, and their boys are making $8,000 on the game. It's like, who fucking cares? Okay, and then like the Italian mob's getting involved. Whatever. Like, let the mob be the mob. Like, let the mob just chill. Who cares? Like, they're not killing anybody that much. I don't think they're not killing anybody besides everyone. Who cares? Like, let the mob be the mob. Like the mob's gonna mob. If I was in the FBI, I'd just be like, yeah, it's the mob, you know? If I was in the FBI and I'm like in the White House and you're in the lounge in the White House, you're on the couch and you're watching like the World Series. You're watching Shohei Ohtani hit 99 home runs, another degenerate gambler, which is nails. And you're in the lounge at FBI headquarters. You're eating cookies and you have a Gatorade. Just, that's what I feel like FBI agents are eating. Just cookies and Gatorade. Not even low sugar Gatorade, like regular Gatorade. That like absolutely like Gatorade isn't inflammatory. It's a whole crock of shit. Like refuel with Gatorade. Gatorade will make your arms snap in half. There's so much sugar in it. So anyway, let's say you're in the FBI headquarters and like an intern runs in and he's like banging on the door. You're like, you buzz him in. You're like, what? An FBI intern is like, dude, 3 people just got assassinated outside a strip club in Chicago. I would just be like, yeah, it's just the mob. Just mob doing mob shit. Like, whatever. Like, they're going to politic the way they want to politic. What do you want me to do about it? It's Monday Night Football. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, what the fuck? We got bigger problems on our hands, like such as Bad Bunny performing at the halftime show. The FBI should look into that because there's a lot. I don't care about that. I don't even know why. I can't even believe that's a thing. I can't even believe people care about that. It's just wild, man. Like all these fucking QAnon leaders on Reddit are just like, Bad Bunny, this is how they're getting in. They're fucking infiltrating our society with Bad Bunny performing at an American sporting event. Like all these guys that drive extended cab F-250 pickup trucks are livid about Bad Bunny. Because I see a guy that has a little bit of tint to him with a dangling earring, and he's kind of speaking Spanglish, and he's got a Puerto Rican flag hanging from the rear view mirror of his what do fucking Puerto Rican guys drive? Like the rich ones, not, I was gonna say Nissan Altima, but like what would a guy like Bad Bunny Jamie, pull that up. What car does Bad Bunny drive? Like probably though. I would say like a G-Wagon. Oh, I didn't even know this. Bad Bunny is known for his eclectic taste in cars, blending ultra luxury hypercars with practical low-key options. While he owns several high-end vehicles, he publicly stated that he's not a huge car enthusiast and prefers driving something unassuming to stay incognito. Yeah, that makes sense. He's got a Corolla, a BMW. Having a Corolla is funny, but I get it. Like, you kind of have to when you're not famous. You could just ride in peace in a Corolla. Like, imagine being a Kardashian or something. Fuck that. Too famous. Fuck that. That'd be annoying. I don't even get how people think that that's fun, being a Kardashian or like someone really like ultra famous, like a Bad Bunny, a Kardashian, Skrilla, who's like ultra famous. The guys in the green suits that went to Vancouver Canucks games, Steve Levy, like ultra famous dudes. Like you can't even do anything. It sucks. It sucks. How do you not see that? It sucks. It's crazy, dude. Everything's under a microscope. Like, it's unbelievable. I would never want to be famous. Brutal. He's got a Mercedes. Like, look at this. He's so famous that I'm looking up what's in his garage. Like, should not be like that. He's got a Mercedes, a G-Wagon, like I said. He's got a Rolls Royce. He's got 2 Rolls Royces. Used to have a Bugatti. So anyway, what the fuck was I even talking about? I was talking about how Republican guys in the outskirts of California, because California, people think California, they think Diddywood and I think San Francisco. Most of California is guys that are like ranchers that are driving F-250s. Toyota Tacomas. They are hyper obsessed Republicans, and they're very upset that Bad Bunny, who was born in a U.S. territory, which it shouldn't be. That's a whole other topic. I feel like Puerto Rico, like Alaska, Puerto Rico, I would even argue Long Island should not be states or owned by the United States. I don't even remember what we were talking about. There's like 3 people in the chat. Can someone help me out what we were talking about this? Talking about something. Fuck. The FBI. Oh, I was talking about how, okay. Shout out to Andrea in the chat. Andrea. Chicks in the chat. I was talking about how, like, if I was in the FBI and one of my I was in the lounge in the FBI headquarters watching football, and an intern knocked on the door and was like, dude, I was talking about the mob being the mob. Dude, there was just 3 assassinations outside of this strip club. And I would just be like, who fucking cares? It's just the mob. Like, let them be. They're not hurting anybody. They're just hurting people who they need to hurt. It has nothing to do with regular society. If the mob goes into a random cul-de-sac in New Hampshire and kills people, then we have a problem. But if the mob is just killing people, that's how I think it should go. Like, everything should be just let the mob do mob things. Okay? And fucking everything will work itself out. Someone said, damn, are you for real with 2 in 1 day? Dude, I podcast 3 times a day. I have nothing to do. I'm a savage. I don't care if I will never stop doing this. This was actually going to be a Patreon episode because I wrote a topic on Patreon and I said, fuck it. I'm going to go live today, back to back. And then we'll get the chat buzzing. The chat is absolutely buzzing. I think there's like 13 people in here, which is huge. We were talking about Obama, Billy Gates. Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on, like with the FBI and stuff like that, and how like they're fucking like, I don't want anything to do with all that. I don't care. I just think it's fun. I just think it's funny how they're like hating on Terry Rozier for throwing a couple games. Like, who fucking gives a shit? Who cares? But all right, we are going to get on Patreon here, and I asked Patreon is patreon.com/Rob Gucci Show for an extra episode every single week. And I asked 2 topics this week. And the topics were, 1, what does your dumbass do for a living? And 2, what are you afraid of? So I'm going to let the chat decide right now. What topics do you want to hear? Which one? And also, I put out a new Rob Gucci Show yesterday, too. Because I have 19 podcasts a month. Sometimes my mouth hurts from podcasting, dude. Like, one day I'm going to tell my wife, like, I can't eat your pussy. And, like, my mouth is tired. Can't eat your pussy tonight. I have a podcast in the morning. All right. So the topic on Patreon, and again, patreon.com/@RobGucciShow for an extra episode every goddamn week. And by the way, the episode I put out on Wednesday is not on video. I have a really bad habit of opening up text on this show sometimes. When I'm with Swish and I'm doing HB3, obviously I'm locked in, but sometimes right here in the middle of the day, I'm locked in on this show too. It just depends. It depends on what's going on. Okay, we're going to get into the topics now, and the topic was, what are you afraid of? What's your biggest fear? And these are all people that are subscribed to my Friday show, and they wrote in. So let's get into it. I'm going to say this right now. If anyone says death or dying or, suffocating on a dildo or whatever, I'm just going to skip it. And it's no disrespect to the Patreon members. I just want to do a more of a positive, like that's not a real fear either, right? Like everyone's gonna shudder, everyone's gonna die, everyone's gonna drown in the fish tank at Bass Pro Shops. That's how I want to go out. I want to drown myself in the fish tank at Bass Pro Shops. I want to wear a weighted vest and sink to the bottom of the fish tank at Bass Pro. Do they still have that, Jamie? Pull that up. Does Bass Pro Shops still have the fish tanks? Because I know a bunch of guys are jumping in them. That was a big part of like my childhood, is watching videos of guys jump in the indoor fish tank at Bass Pro Shops. Not all stores have them, but the major ones do. Examples: Memphis, Tennessee. Oh yeah, they gonna have a Bass Pro Shops in Memphis, Tennessee. Las Vegas. Huh. Orlando. Shout out to Cornbread. Morgantown, West Virginia. Dude, that's a good idea. I got to write that down. We should do a HB3 podcast from a Bass Pro Shops inside the fish tank with like snorkels on and shit. Sorry I missed your funeral. I jumped into the Bass Pro Shops in Morgantown, West Virginia, and got arrested. All right, let's get into the questions here. This one is from Liam. You want me to say I'm scared of getting cut? I'm scared of getting cut. All right, thanks for that, dude. I kind of like that one though. Hold on, I'm gonna tweet out. Let me live at YouTube. I think I'm shadow whacked on YouTube again because all I do is tweet links now and promote myself, and they shadow ban your account if you're what's going on? They shadow if you promote links a lot on X, like they don't like that. Like if you promote other platforms. Which is like, okay, dude, I'm trying to make money. I'm buying Mountain Valley water every fucking week for $35 a case. Like I need people to subscribe to my fucking show. All right. Second question comes in from Daddy Fat Sack. He is afraid of sharks, heights, and my burner account getting exposed and ruining my life. Depending on what you say on your burner, I have I have a very non-binary opinion on burner accounts. If you're on a burner account and you're talking shit or, sending hurtful jabs at people and being a coward, that's just such a pussy thing to do, man. Like, it's just such a pussy thing to do. Like, you are such a bitch. But if you're on a burner because you just don't really want to lose your job at Goldman Sachs for retweeting like a George Floyd meme, like I understand. Well, not in that situation. I feel like you probably shouldn't be retweeting a George Floyd meme, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, and I'm not going to tell you how to fuck your wife. I wouldn't do something like that. But I get it from a guy like okay, so here's the thing. Like, even when I was a parody account for 2 years, whatever it was, even when I kind of show my personality and even my face, like I had a real job and I was still letting it fly. So like me being really tough and paving the way as a guy, and I wasn't saying anything bad, right? It was just about like boozing, some drug references, after 2 drinks at the bar, I'll get on my phone and just tweet like, I love a big set of tits. And I was doing all that while I had a job. So if you're the kind of guy that's like, oh, I'm going to get fired, you're a pussy. And I'm tough. I just don't really know how I feel about burners. It's all situational. It's all situational to me. But yeah, being afraid of sharks, I understand that, especially going face to face with one or something like that. But I love sharks. I always say I'm gonna get a full back tattoo of a great white shark, like breaching the water with a bunch of flames around it. And the top of my back is gonna have on my shoulder, across my shoulders, gonna say "fuck you, pay me." And the great white shark's gonna take up my whole back, and then like down to my ass cheeks, like the top of my ass cheeks, it's gonna just cut off because I don't want to. I don't know how to. I don't want the tattoo artist looking at my ass. You know. It'd be weird to get your ass tattooed, like, as a dude. Like, you really want the tattoo artist, like, looking at the back of your nutsack for 3.5 hours? I wouldn't do that. I would just cut it off, like, at the like, the lower back, like, at the waistline, if you will. Okay. The next one's from Landon. I'm terrified on, like, the world getting nuked. Like, getting a warning, like, "Oh, shit, holy likes." That's coming from me. I'm terrified on like the world getting nuked, like getting a warning, like, "Oh shit, it's coming and there's nothing you can do. No point in running, even if you do survive, the world's fucked. Just hug your family and wait for it to go dark." What the fuck? If the whole world was getting nuked and they sent a notification on an iPhone, like, you get it, your phone starts buzzing like crazy, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You take your phone out, it's like, "Amber Alert. Silver Kia Optima going 100 miles down the 101, kidnapped 2 kids." You're like, "Dude, whatever." Put it back in your pocket, and you get another one. Take out your phone. It's like the world's gonna get nuked. I don't even know if I would be rattled about that because we're all in it, right? We're like, "All right, word, bet." If it said like Arizona's getting nuked and that's it, and the nuke's gonna hit in like 42 minutes, and I'd be like, then I'd be pissed because then I would have FOMO of like living. Just Arizona? You're nuking just Arizona? Nuke somewhere else. Like, nuke fucking somewhere that sucks. Like, trying not to offend people. Nuke New Mexico. Sorry, John Jones. But yeah, if the whole world was getting nuked, it's like, all right, whatever. I'll see you guys in the other dimension. All right, this next one is Meltsy. And if you're just new here, the topic is my Patreon members are writing in, my Patreon gang writing in their biggest fears. This one's from Meltsy. Fear of failure, the bad type, which prevents you from attacking life. There's no such thing as that, my friend. You got to keep attacking. There's no such thing as that. Failure is fucking dope. If I'm talking to somebody like all these gay guys that have been hitting on me at bars recently, and there's like, "Yeah, I started a company, but like it failed and I had to pivot and do something else." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude. Like, you tried, man. You tried and you're going to learn from it." There's no failure. Like, there's such a fucking myth. How do people even, there's no failure, dude. Like, no one knows what the fuck is going on. There's no failure. There's no like, there's, you cannot achieve what you hope to achieve, or things might not be able to work out, but everything's always changing. You learn from it. You move on. Okay. There's the fucking FBI is investigating NBA players. No one knows what the fuck is going on. Okay. There's no fail. Like, don't be afraid to fail. This is a motivational podcast. Afraid to fail in front of who? Some kid in the comments is going, "Bro, aren't you 40? Who fucking gives a shit? Who cares? You tried something. It didn't work out. You know what you should be afraid of? Being a pussy and not trying anything. Oh, what if I make a clothing company and I sell all these clothes and no one buys them? Yeah, well, you tried. You gave it your all. That's more respectable and admirable than somebody that just packs it in, you know? doesn't take risks because of, what their dad's going to think. Fuck your dad. He's a pussy. Who cares? Like, I don't understand. I'll never understand that. Like, I understand it's easier for me because nobody in my family has any expectations for me or cares what I'm doing. So it's easy. And it's harder for somebody that has people that have them under a microscope and like, oh, if you're not a civil engineer, you're a failure. Dude, fuck them, Melcy. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Fear is an illusion. It's crazy. If you take one thing away, if all 8 people that listen to this take one thing away, fear is a fucking illusion. And I say that I've said this analogy before. It's like walking into an auditorium at college and you think everybody in the whole room's looking at how dirty your shoes are. No one gives a fuck. No one fucking gives a shit. You stupid bitch. All right. So don't be afraid of failure. Try new things. Fail. I've failed a bunch of times. Look at me. Look at my Viking stove. You think I got that by being afraid of failure? I got 2 different kind of soaps. Dish soap and hand soap. And then I got 2 paper towels. You think I got all this shit back here from being afraid to fail? You think I fucking got these kitchen towels from West Elm for $52 a towel from being afraid to fail? No. Next question. Next one. This is from CJ. I'm afraid of what would happen if the Earth stopped rotating or flew out of orbit into the universe. I feel like bridges would collapse. Little light fixtures would be swinging around, I feel like. But yeah, that kind of that's like the same thing for me. Like the question where it's like, what if the world blew up? We're all in this together, right? We're all fucked up. Like everyone's car's flipping over. Yeah, I don't know if the world stopped rotating. Jamie, pull that up. What would happen if the world stopped rotating? So Earth stopped rotating suddenly. The consequences would be catastrophic due to the planet's immense rotational momentum. Okay. It would hurl everything not anchored. People, vehicles, water. Oh, wow. The ocean would throw that thing in a circle. Equatorial regions would face worse impacts. Does that mean like so the closer to the equator you are, like your hot girls in Brazil and Argentina, those chicks, all those BBLs are going to be flying everywhere. Tsunamis would surge. Good for at least you can ride a wave on your way out. Yeah, so I guess everything would just be fucked up, right? Solar radiation would bake the surface. How do they even know all this? So everyone would die. Whatever. This one's from Megan. Hi, Rob. I'm afraid that every time I buy new shampoo, some freak has replaced it with Nair and I'll end up bald on accident. That's valid. I could see that. That kind of reminds me of the DoorDash situation where I'm like, I know for a fact DoorDash drivers are out there putting their balls in this Mediterranean bowl. I know people are doing it. And I don't stand for that. I don't like that. But people are definitely doing that, which is unfortunate. No one likes the taste of balls in their mouth. Some people probably do. Hey, Rob, Sarge from Boston. One of my biggest fears is people who wear religious headgear, especially those on airplanes. Jesus Christ. This is a full-blown burner type comment. He said something about transgender people, immigrants. I'm not going to read the rest of this, but just to show you, I guess showing you a member of my audience. I don't stand for that. I like all people. I don't know if I like organized religion. I feel like it's a little bit outdated. I feel like And he said something about immigrants being behind the wheel of an Uber or a taxi. Next question. This is from Kian. Either tearing my Achilles, because that seems to be the new injury trend in sports, or failing at life. What is with you guys saying failing? There's no failing at life. There is. Like, if you... There's a couple scenarios where like you could be like, that guy's a fucking failure. But for the most part, failing is good. If you're failing onwards, if you're learning, if you're taking good risks. If you end up under the 405 shooting heroin and breaking into cars, yes, that's a failure. But like failing in life, like it's like guys, like wake up. This guy Kian, come on now. Next sentence. Finally starting my career at 23. Finally? I'm starting my career and I'm almost 40. Dude, this is what your fault. You're reading too many comments. You're getting brainwashed, okay? Don't compare yourself to everyone else. That's the problem. Fuck. Stop comparing yourself. Listen, I said this before on Rob Gucci Show. I'm not saying that I fucking have all the answers or my way is the right way. That's not. I'm saying I'm a guy in my kitchen giving you my thoughts. But like the fact that you said I'm finally starting my career at 23, dude, you were just born. You were born in the 2000. You were born after 9/11. You just got here, dude. You just got here. Who's telling you that? Like. Finally? What do you mean finally? 23. I was like a junior in college. I was a sophomore in college. I don't give a fuck. Don't compare. Don't compare. Ever. Some people start their career at 50. And he said, finally starting my career at 23. If this doesn't work out, I'm going to be folded downtown Winnipeg. Yeah, this is a big problem with the kids these days. Like, everyone gives a fuck about... Everyone's all depressed. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's on SSRIs because they look at this screen. They look at this screen in my hand all day. And I do it too. But, and this guy has this. But I don't. This guy has this job, and I don't have that. This guy is 25 years old. Here it is, 100 million. I don't have. Like, everyone has their own path, dude. Someone said it's a weird age where you're not young enough to be irresponsible and not old enough to take everything in life seriously. But who's telling you that? Someone in the chat just said that. Who's telling you that? You could be You could be irresponsible at 23. You guys are on TikTok way too much, dude. Way too much. Like, it's crazy. You don't have to take... Here you go. You don't have to take life seriously ever. Everything's in moderation. There's no, like, why don't you grow up? You know how many times I've heard that? Why don't you grow up? And now I'm in this massive kitchen behind me. Fuck all that. It doesn't matter. Like, dude, why don't you grow up? What does that even mean? Like, I have to wear khakis. I have to ask my boss if I can have PTO in April. Tell him, sorry, I got back from lunch a little late. Fuck you. There's no guidelines on age. It's all fugazi. I don't know, like that. You guys, like, sometimes I wish that more than 13 people listen to this. People lose their virginity when they're 50. People lose their virginity when they're 8. It's the same thing with life. People are fucking. And people aren't fucking. And it's like this whole thing where it's like, dude, one time on Kyle Forjar, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I fucking Nelk guy. I saw like a bunch of comments under one of his posts. It might have been like a birthday post from him. And like, I don't usually read I go through waves where I read the comments. I don't read the comments because the comments are fucking retarded for the most part. And people are like, bro is almost 40. Bro's 30. The guy is a multi-millionaire off of his passions. built a business. Like who, and like the mutants in the comments, and like people read the comments and are like, oh my God. I don't know. People are just fucked up. So like when I hear that comment on my Patreon, like I'm finally starting my career at 23. If it doesn't work out, dude, you could start your career at 23, hate it, restart at 25, hate that one, restart at 28, restart that one, you're in your 20s and it doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't, keep going, keep trying new shit. Crazy, dude. Girl in the chat said, I'm going to graduate my bachelor's at 28. Yeah, it's all on your own time. You have your own path. Everyone grew up in different environments. Some people grew up eating Cheez-Its and shattering Xbox controllers in the basement until they're whatever. Yeah, it's frustrating. I guess I shouldn't get worked up about it, but it's like, bro, you're 23. You just got here. Next one. This is from Joe. I'm scared of people who rock climb without a rope. That shit is so gay and dangerous at the same time. 100% of rock climbers commit hate crimes. Someone in the chat said my brother repeated a year +2 in juniors and he got his bachelor's degree at 26. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, God, the comparison. There's a comparison pandemic in the world. Do you? In a different scenario, if a different gay guy's hitting on me at the bar, because if you listen to my episode a couple episodes ago, I was talking about situations where I got hit on by gay guys at the bar, and he was 51. He goes, I'm going back to school. I'll be like, good for you. Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm 58. I just got out of the Army. I was a photographer for the Navy. And now I'm starting a hairstyle company. I would say, congratulations. I wish you the best of luck. Doesn't fucking matter how old you are. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in my 30s. I thought like that the whole way. I remember when I found out you can age out of junior hockey and go to school at 21 and graduate at 25. I remember there were people that were just like, dude, you really want to graduate 25? You're going to and I was just like, yeah, who cares? Who cares? And they couldn't compute that in their head. They're like, yeah, but you're going to be 25. And I'm just like, so what do you mean? Like, what is that affecting though? Like, I don't who fucking cares, dude? Next one from Drew. His biggest fear is ending up in a job with a bad work-life balance. Yeah, well, don't do that then. Do what you want to do. Life's too short. This is a motivational podcast all of a sudden. Someone in the chat said Jerry D was a high school teacher till his 30s. He's a big Canadian comedian. He started comedy as a high school teacher, and now he's very successful. You never know what can happen. Yeah, I remember Tim Dillon was a mortgage broker or something like that. And he basically was like, I need to figure out how to be funny for the masses and do this because I like to do this. Like, I think that's so dope. There's so many stories like that. And it all starts with not really giving a shit what the fuck someone else has to say, you know? Volkanovski started MMA at 23. Wow, that's a great one. There's another story like that too in MMA where someone started super late, late in terms of athletic careers. Yeah. Okay, the next one's a little bit deep, so I don't want to read it publicly because I don't know if this guy wants me to read this publicly. I won't name a name. How about that? Hey, Gucci, gonna get deep here. My biggest fear is getting cancer again. I had it for 3 years. Jesus taught me so much in life. I'm thankful for that, but I never want to have to go through chemo and radiation again. Jesus Christ. Shit makes you feel absolutely terrible. I did get to make a wish though. So that was pretty fucking sick. God damn, dude. So you had the bad cans. Like if you're on the Make-A-Wish, that means you're on the end of that diving board jumping into a pool of fucking doesn't have a bottom. You were right there. God damn. I don't know how you got through that shit, but that's good. I'm good to hear that. Glad to hear that. What a savage, bro. Like you're a savage. Anyone that does chemo and gets through it, dude, you're a savage. There's no way around it. You're a savage. That's what you are. Because with the way that works is like, obviously I don't need to explain chemo, but you're attacking your own body. You're fighting fire with fire. You know, you're attacking your whole body to get the bad cells out. So you're basically like in a situation, you're in a hell of a pinch. Like you're in the middle of first and second. Like you stole, catcher is a good pop time. He catches that fastball. He pops up, throws it to second. And somehow you're stuck between Derek Jeter was covering second and you tried to steal and Derek Jeter is on second and first base is like Chuck Knobloch. And you're just like, fuck. Like those two guys, you're in the middle of a rundown against Derek Jeter and Chuck Knobloch in their prime. And the Yankees are at home. You are probably going to get thrown out. But you didn't. Because Chuck Knobloch threw it 50 feet over Derek Jeter's head into the outfield. But good for you, dude. I'm sure you learned a whole new perspective. That's the thing. I feel like sometimes people wait to get perspective on that. That just gave me perspective, dude. That's just something I got to do today that I didn't really want to do. And now that just gave me perspective or like, I'm going to do that shit. I'm going to be happy about it. Because you could have it way worse. But congrats on that, dude. Hell of a mindset. Hell of a mindset on you. I wonder what you did for your Make-A-Wish. I want to ask that. On the Patreon chat. Hit the Patreon chat. What did you, if you don't mind, don't tell me it was John Cena. You know what I would do for my Make-A-Wish? I would make a wish that I can jump in the Bass Pro Shops fish tank in West Virginia naked. Yeah, but congrats. Keep that mindset up, dude. That's just not coming back. It's not. If it does, I'm gonna be pissed off. All right, next one. Hi, Rob. I'm afraid of getting fat. That's why I'll never stop biohacking. Thanks. Love you and the podcast. Love you too, Ryan Mack. And Ryan Mack, thank you for the topic. You are also the reason why I did the second topic of the week, which was what do y'all do for work? Yeah, that's a rational fear, man, getting fat. I mean, it'll ruin your confidence or whatever. If you don't like to be fat, you got to buy 2 plane tickets. Maybe you're not really in terms of dating, you're not really you're in a different tax bracket in terms of women that you're kind of getting those babes that kind of are on the outskirts of San Antonio instead of those babes that are that's a mean thing to say. I'm gonna take that back. Jamie, edit that out. You're kind of, if you get fat, I mean, it's not like an overnight thing. The good thing about getting fat is that it's mostly a decision that you can control, except for that like percentage of people that have medical issues. That's the good thing. And then somebody commented and said the only thing getting worse than getting fat is the wife getting fat. Shout out to biohackers, dude. If your wife gets fat, dude, that's it's not a problem. It's like, that's like a communication thing. And I hope like my future, one of my wives, or I always joke about getting divorced, dude, but like everyone in my families get divorced. So it would be dope to be the one that like actually shit worked out. Not to flex on everyone, but it's like I've seen divorce firsthand and it's so gay. Like I I try to talk less about my personal life when it comes to my family and stuff, but the things I saw as a kid, and a divorce that I would say was pretty bad. It could be worse. There's worse out there, but it was just so gay, and I had no idea in the moment. Like, I was chirping, like being in the middle of that divorce, just seeing it. I'm like, wait, why? Now I have a lot to say. I'm like, you guys are fucking retarded. Not my mom. Anyway, yeah, if your wife's getting fat, dude, or you're getting fat, it's just a communication thing. Like, you got to be like, babe, I didn't sign up for this shit. You know, our vows said that I'll stick by your side through healing, through health, till we croak, or until I have a heart attack in the middle of Chili's. We'll stand by each other's side. But there was no vows that were like, yeah, your wife's gonna get fat as fuck, and you still got to hit that. I would want to be in a situation where you can mutually be like, hey, listen, like, I don't really like the way your habits are going towards. That's what I would say to my wife. And she's going to say, what do you mean by that? So in the chat, I'll stick by your side through thick and thin, but not that thick. That's funny. My wife would be like, what you mean by that? And I'd be like, honey, all right, let's just set the stage. I come home. My wife's getting fat recently. I come home from work. I come home from podcasting in the kitchen. I go to the bedroom and she's eating Pop-Tarts in bed. And I was like, hey, we got to talk about something. She's like, what you mean? What? She goes, mm-hmm. And I tell my wife, so I've just been concerned with the direction of some of your habits, the way they're going. She goes, what you mean by that? And I'm like, I mean, you're eating Pop-Tarts in our bed right now. And it's not even like a modest flavor. Like, it's not even like cinnamon. You're eating Twix, a collab Pop-Tart. Okay. That's when you know it's a problem. When you're eating a collaboration on a Pop-Tart. You're eating a Twix Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart collaborated with Twix and they made a Twix Pop-Tart. That's the fucking problem, Sheila. That's where I draw the line. You fat bitch. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that. She's like, what you mean by that? She's like, take your broke ass out. All right. All right, everybody. It's been a good show. It's the Rob Gucci Show. Appreciate you guys. Go listen to HB3. All right, I'm out, guys. All right, this will be on audio. Love you guys. Love all you guys. Peace. We out.